Coke Zero. If I drink too much, or excuse me, do you think it was going to spill?
Yeah.
It's not. Look at it.
Well, get it away from me. I don't trust you, and I'm in a nice shirt.
It doesn't stain. I've spilled
I don't
soda
trust
on it
anything.
all the time, and it doesn't
I
get on
don't
it.
trust anything. Anything can stain for me. Knowing my luck with shirts, anything can stain and anything will stain.
Anytime I open one of these and that noise happens and I see like the red can or a blue can, even though I don't drink Pepsi, I think of Home Alone. If Fuller has too much Pepsi to drink, he'll wet the bed. And then he goes. It's one of the most iconic moments from the movie because Kevin has to share the hide-a-bed with Fuller. Is this just a different language to you? I feel like anytime I like quote a movie or anything,
I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what part of the movie you're talking about.
Yeah,
it's just like
he goes.
Yeah, I know.
And then he makes that obnoxious slurp noise. It's just funny. It's funny to me. I don't know what else to say. I get a kick out of it.
Boys.
We are an unusual couple, you know.
Last time we talked, we did D23 predictions.
So true.
D23 has since happened. So what are we doing? We're talking. You said letdown?
Let down by what our predictions were. If you consider it in terms of them actually officially releasing things. Ooh, I choked.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
I choked on my own spit.
Lost oxygen?
In terms of them actually like releasing things to the general public, like in high quality, not watching it from someone's whack ass film job in the middle of the auditorium. Mm-hmm. We were disappointed.
We got
Snow White's trailer, and that's about it.
Yeah, the public trailers we got were Skeleton Crew, which is a Star Wars show, which looks like a glorified Disney Parks commercial. More on Disney Parks later. We got a Pixar trailer for their first long-form series called Win or Lose.
Don't care.
We got a Percy Jackson season 2 trailer.
Okay, those are strong words for what we got. We got
I know.
2 seconds of Percy and his chariot, which will be the first scene. That is the scene that's supposed to be the light 'em up, light 'em up.
God.
That's what that was supposed to be.
Really?
Yeah, it's a chariot scene. It's sick as
so
fuck.
It's not a cornucopia-esque scene.
Fuck no.
Jenga with humans.
No, it's a chariot race and it's sick.
Okay. Well, I'm excited for that. I think it'll be fun. We'll talk more about that in a sec if you want to dive in. We got a Snow White live-action remake teaser trailer. And that's a teaser. It's like 1:15. Very comparable, in my opinion, to the Little Mermaid one. That it gives you a hint of, the main character singing and some iconic visuals.
That was my attempt at whistling. Yeah, but your tone was off at you.
I was just whistling. I was whistling more so An Actor's Life for Me. It's Pinocchio. I don't know why. I didn't see that live action.
That's a pirate's life for me.
No, it's from Pinocchio. It's An Actor's Life for Me.
They also have that in Peter Pan.
Really?
Yo ho, yo
well,
ho,
they're different.
A pirate's life for me.
Yeah, they're different.
They sound exactly the same. Whatever you're doing sounds exactly like a pirate's life.
It
so
could
either
very well be.
You're lying, or you're wrong. One of the two.
Let's go to YouTube. I'm curious now. Like, I'm not like trying to prove a point. I'm genuinely curious. Let's ask Siri's dumbass. Pinocchio Actor's Life for Me song.
It definitely heard you say
it picked up dumbass. It said, it
you
looked up dumbass Pinocchio.
You hit the button and then you said, let's ask Siri's dumbass.
Look, An Actor's Life for Me. It's that Fox fella. After we get an ad for Expedia. Let me turn that down.
No free advertisement.
No free advertisement.
If you want an ad, you're going to have to get it out of us the hard way.
Hold on, let me fast forward. There we go. Let me do the 10 seconds back so that everyone can hear it real quick. I'll put it up to the mic. Ready? Here we go. An Actor's Life for Me. That's what I was humming. From Pinocchio. Pinocchio! Good movie. Great film, actually. Not as good as I remembered on rewatch, but still, I don't know where it places in my Disney ranking, but if you're about to do yo ho, a pirate's life for me, I know what that is.
They are the same tone. It's the same
Let's
tune.
see. Different already. Slightly different. But I know what that is.
Literally, it's the exact same thing that you just played. I'm sorry.
Let's see. An Actor's Life for Me.
That part is the exact same.
It's kind of like TASM and the Back to the Future score, how they're very similar. Thoughts? I mean, like, to a certain extent similar, but
it's
different. Anyway, Snow White live action.
Yeah.
Looks good in my opinion.
I think it looks great.
Haters gonna hate, but I think it
haters
looks...
got me 1.5 million views on my TikTok.
Sheesh. And then there was one more trailer, Agatha All Along.
Don't care.
Yeah, the first official trailer. So that's what we got.
Oh, we already got a trailer for that.
We got a teaser. This was the first, I guess, official trailer.
Okay.
We got a teaser trailer. But yeah, the things that were released not to the public were far superior.
Of course.
We got Daredevil Born Again. We got Thunderbolts. We got Mando and Grogu, which actually looks good.
Yeah.
And I want to say...
Zeb, shout out.
Yeah, what else did they drop? Is that it?
Do you have to burp? You're talking like you have to burp.
Did they drop anything else?
I don't think so. Oh, they actively, violently ignored Thunderbolts.
They dropped a Thunderbolts trailer.
But that was from SDCC.
The one that leaked?
Yeah.
Oh,
that was not
you're
from
right.
D23.
Thank you. Yeah, fair. I get the two confused sometimes. So yeah, they didn't even acknowledge Thunderbolts at D23.
They literally didn't talk about
Probably
them.
because it was at SDCC then.
We got to see the Fantastic Four suit.
True. Yeah, that's a good point. And that leaked as well. So I guess I want to go like highlights. What are the highlights and lowlights of D23? Like, what was your biggest highlight if you had to pick one? It can include the leak stuff.
Including the leak stuff, I'd say Daredevil. Just because I love the original show so much.
Fair.
The trailer really did look sick. We are closer than ever to me seeing him in an all-black Daredevil suit.
Yeah. Bigger,
closer than ever, which is big if true. That's the suit I want to see him in the most. And I was pissed when his suit was yellow in She-Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, out of all of our options, we're going with his yellow suit.
Ugly.
Oh, God, it's so bad.
Ugly.
There was also a gray helmet option in his little lineup. He had 2 red ones, his yellow one, a black one, and a gray one.
He's out here like Tony Stark now.
Oh, kind of, yeah.
Like that scene in Iron Man 3 when he has all the suits.
But the Daredevil trailer was phenomenal. We got to see Bullseye again.
See, I never fully watched the leaked Daredevil trailer. I've only seen like out of context.
We got to see Bullseye.
Punisher.
Back, obviously. Punisher back.
Which, by the way, he looks exactly like he did when we met him in Fan Expo Dallas 2023.
Oh, yeah.
His same like haircut and everything. And he also looks like that in The Bear season 2.
That is true.
So they were just like, screw it. Let's keep... He might have had it in his contract that he couldn't like shave or anything. But weird either way. Yeah, Daredevil was probably the best.
We got our first look at Muse, who is going to be like a new villain in the show. And his design looks really cool. It looks very, very identical to his comic design. We got to see a little bit of Karen and Foggy. It looks like it very much continues after season 3 of Daredevil, where like all of season 3 is like basically exploring. There's no more Matt Murdock. It's just Daredevil, and it's like it's his really dark side. It's like he's still that, which is cool.
Can we agree this is just Daredevil season 4?
Of course it is, and like he has to work with Kingpin now.
That's what I was gonna say. The coolest thing is it's like team up of Kingpin and Daredevil. I love seeing when a hero and villain team up and fight a greater threat. One of my favorite things, and they do it a lot in the Clone Wars randomly. Like there's an episode where like Dooku and Obi-Wan and Anakin have to like team up. I love stuff like that. And it's like the enemy of my enemy is my friend. But I don't know if that's applicable here. But
well, the enemy of my enemy is like my work friend.
Yeah,
is my benefit.
Yeah. It's gonna
be interesting to see them work together. Vanessa's back. Vanessa's back.
Yeah, I mean it's season 4 of Daredevil.
And after watching the trailer, I'm like, I can't believe that there was ever a moment in time where they were going to continue this show without Karen and Foggy, without the original Vanessa.
Disgraceful.
Whew, it was so bad that John Bernthal hated it. And I remember when we met him the second time at Atlanta Comic Con, I tweeted about what he said about the Daredevil show.
Yeah.
And how he was like, I'm not doing it if like Karen's not in it. That tweet made it to Reddit. I don't know if you know about that.
Oh, you told me about that.
And like men, sorry, not to put men on blast or anything, men were losing their minds both on Twitter and on Reddit calling me a liar, saying that I was lying. And
incels will do that.
Mind you, John Bernthal recently did a podcast with Deborah Ann Wall, the girl that plays Karen, and he himself was like, yeah, I mean, I told them, like, this is my John Bernthal impression. I told them, I wasn't going to do it if you were not in it. You were a vital piece of that project, and I was not doing it if you weren't in it. I was fighting for you.
Let me tell you something.
I was fighting for you. He said it himself. And everyone was like, she's a liar. She's lying. She's making stuff up. Why would I make it up? Why would I lie? And guess what? I was telling the truth.
What is that?
Vindicated.
What is that?
Vindicated, one might say.
Yeah, so...
What was your highlight of
my highlight is
23?
Also the Daredevil stuff. I also really dug seeing, surprisingly, this is the underdog story for me, Mando and Grogu. I've been a naysayer, if you will, of Star Wars and Disney Plus as of late, and I truly believe they could go back to the magic of those first 2 seasons. All we got was like a minute-long glimpse, but there's one shot of Mando and Grogu on an AT-ST. They're like coming down a hill, and they end up like underneath 2 AT-ATs, and I'm like, this just has the magic. Like, it stirred up something inside of me where I was like, I could see them maybe recapturing the glory days of season 1 and season 2. Zeb in the picture. I mean, I have hope for that. Star Wars trailers have let me down a lot, but still, very, very could be potentially a winner. And I never in a million years thought I'd sit here and say that.
$1 billion at the box office?
No
Yes or no?
shot.
Really?
No, because that May is really crowded. That's the same May as Doomsday.
Wow.
Yeah. So no, but I think it does well.
Isn't next May super crowded?
I'd have to look.
Isn't
next summer is super
Superman?
crowded. Next July, Superman,
Fantastic Four, something else. Like 2 other things just got announced within that weekend, I think.
They're both upcoming summers are very slammed. But I have a rant for you.
Go ahead.
It's in favor of Percy Jackson. It's taking something Percy Jackson excels at in their marketing, and it's something that other shows need to take note of. I said this in my recent tier list ranking of D23 announcements.
You said it on your channel?
Yes.
That's so exciting.
Percy Jackson Season 1. Filming was very early on. Mm-hmm. This was at D23 22, I want to say, right?
2022, exactly.
2022.
I can give you the exact timeline.
Yep.
They were...
Please do, actually.
About... It was in September of 2022, I want to say.
Sounds right. A couple months in?
They were 8 months into filming.
Okay. But they still had more to do, right?
Yeah.
That being said, they put out a quick little teaser glimpse with some shots of Walker as Percy.
Yep, 50 seconds.
And a logo.
Yep.
And did they give us the release date then? Like a streaming 2023 maybe?
Something along those lines, right? I believe.
Okay. That's all that we need.
Yeah.
Fast forward.
Mind you, it made me cry.
Fair. Fast forward to D23 this year. They've been filming for a week, correct?
They were filming for 4 days by the time they got to D23.
4 days.
They started filming on Monday. Friday, they left Vancouver and were there at the Disney Showcase Expo panel at night on Friday.
So they were filming for less than a week, roughly.
4 days.
4 days. They had a season 2 announcement teaser with official footage from the season, with an official poster for the season, with a streaming 2025 on that poster. They had barely been filming and they still showed up for the fans. And I'm not saying other shows haven't, but I gotta say something real quick.
Go ahead.
Percy Jackson ahead of everyone else, because why in the name of God, if you will, if you believe, have we not had something like that for Percy Jackson or for Stranger Things?
Yeah.
Why have we not had something like that for Stranger Things?
Or for Andor?
Why have we not had something like that for Andor? Why have we not had something like that for every single show out there that has 2 to 3 year gaps? Because that alone feeds the fandom. It keeps them hungry. It keeps them at ease.
I can tell you why.
Why Stranger Things, yeah, we got the behind the scenes teaser. We got for season 4 from season 3, that gap, they had barely been filming, and we got a whole teaser saying, From Russia with Love, Hopper's alive, season 4 logo. They succeeded there. Why haven't we done that for this new season? It's frustrating. Percy Jackson's build different. Other shows need to take notes. I'm serious.
That's why Percy Jackson's better. Percy Jackson's different. And also, I think most importantly, Percy Jackson is about to be Disney Plus's baby. If after season 2, if we don't get like a full 3-season renewal all the way through season 5, I think Disney's insane.
I think they will probably,
they could be
right?
halfway through filming by now if Disney renewed them earlier and if they weren't delayed in the script writing process by the writer strikes. They were like 2 episodes into writing the scripts for season 2.
Strike screwed everyone over.
Before season 2 is even renewed,
Yeah.
they were writing the scripts for season 2 on the off chance that they got renewed. So first of all, they're working ahead.
Yeah.
They're thinking ahead, okay? That got halted because of the writer strikes. So they had to wait until those were over for them to get back into the writer's room. And they had to wait for like a literal renewal to happen. And they're working on the school schedule of these kids because Walker, Leah, and Ariana are literally in public school, like real public school.
Yeah. I mean, and they're still getting promotional material out, though. That's my thing. Like, it's frustrating. It's frustrating because, like, people's biggest complaint is there's too long of gaps between these streaming shows. And it's so damn easy to do what Percy Jackson is doing.
I think Stranger Things they started out well with Ross Duffer's Instagram posts. Like, they were actually, like, giving, like, little things for fans to look for and whatnot. But recently, Ross Duffer has not been posting anything, like, of substance. And it's not doing it anymore. I do think, though, if Netflix had, like, their D23 recently, so, like, a Netflix, like, Geeked or Tudum or whatever.
Geek Week is coming up.
Geek Week, Tudum, whatever, mind you. Like, I think I want to give Stranger Things the benefit that they would drop like 30 seconds of something maybe because they have that for sure. Like, it's not like they don't. I know they do. If Geek Week is coming up, maybe we'll get something.
We very well could, and that's my hope. But I do wish that they would just drop more things for popular shows, like just to keep fans at bay. Like, you just give us a year. We're not asking for the day. Give us a year.
D23 like resuscitated Percy Jackson fandom on Twitter. Like, it was crazy.
It was wild. You know what else it did? It kind of tore up the Disney parks fans, if I may get into that right now.
Go ahead.
Disney announced a lot of big changes for parks. We are theme park people, and this is kind of our outlet for talking about that, I feel, because I don't know where else we do it. But Disney, they got some changes coming. First and foremost, Hollywood Studios in Orlando is getting a Monsters, Inc. land.
Where do you think that's going to go? That's one of the
Which
hot
is
topics.
hype. I'm hyped for that. They're doing the Door coaster. God, I'm ready. I don't care where it goes. I think it'll end up probably going where Rock and Roller Coaster is. That's what I think.
I've seen people say that they think they're going to tear down the Muppet area and they're going to make that like the entranceway to
I've seen a lot of that as well, but I don't
Monsters
think
Inc. land or whatever. I think they would try to find a way to put it near Toy Story Land because there would be a whole Pixar area and that could expand into a whole Pixar side of that park.
Fair.
Like, you'd think they would try to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know what the geography of...
They might get to the launch bay, Star Wars launch bay.
I don't know where the geography of Hollywood Studios is, so, like, I don't know what's behind.
I think
Toy
you
Story
actually
Land.
might have just cooked because
Parking lot or not.
They could get rid of the launch bay, which is that big building where you met Chewbacca that one time.
Yeah.
It's like, technically, you could create a path from there to Toy Story.
Oh, yeah, that whole area that kind of just has nothing going on over there.
It's just a bathroom and then the Star Wars
There's,
launch bay.
like, some stuff for, like, kids. Like, there's a Little Mermaid show, I think.
I don't even know, but like, you could do something with that area.
Yeah.
But I think that's good. I think it's good that they're adding something to Hollywood Studios.
I agree.
Yeah.
I love Hollywood Studios. It is probably my favorite park.
It's barren right now, in my opinion.
It could always use more stuff. Like,
Always.
And the more stuff they add there, the lower the wait time is for Tower of Terror, which is good for me.
Exactly. So Hollywood Studios on the come up. Magic Kingdom getting a huge overhaul.
I saw a tweet. Go ahead and tell us what they're getting, and I'll tell you.
Magic Kingdom is getting a Cars land with 2 new rides that's going to replace Tom Sawyer Island and Rivers of America.
Yeah.
And they're getting Disney Villains Land.
Huge. I saw a tweet that was like, we all need to thank Epic Universe for this, because there's no way Disney would have done a Villain Land if it wasn't for Epic Universe and, like, the Dark Universe and stuff.
I agree. I think this Villains Land is going to be dope.
I think the Villains Land looks hype. The concept art looks insane. I love Darker Things. Love Disney Down, right? You guys know. But I love Darker Things. Like, I've always wanted to do, like, the haunted houses at Halloween Horror Nights, but we can't take him to haunted houses because his first instinct when something jumps out at him is to punch. So we can't take him to haunted houses, unfortunately. But I do love the vibes. I love the vibes. Universal. I think as we grow, we are becoming more Universal people than Disney people. No offense to Disney.
I agree, actually. I was thinking about that the other day.
Universal just has a little bit more to offer for, like, the adult side of things in a way. And I like this Villain's Land if I feel like it's giving that to Disney.
Yeah.
Plus, from what I can tell from the concept art and the little promo video, I think we can all agree that Disney agrees that Maleficent is the best villain out of all of their movies. Dare I say.
I think without a shadow of a doubt, the most iconic, like instantly recognizable.
She's scary.
Yeah.
She can scare you.
Yeah.
Like the evil queen from Snow White. Yeah, she's scary, especially when she's old. Ew, old people. Cinderella, evil stepmother, not that scary, right? What else? Hit me with some Disney movies.
Jafar.
He's scary, but not practical for a park.
Scar. They need to use Scar, I think.
Oh, Jafar, maybe a little bit practical.
Jafar would be a good one. Captain Hook. I'm just going to start shouting out
Jafar
villains.
is the male version of Maleficent if she did not slay.
Jafar will have some presence, I think.
Yeah.
You could do the Alice in Wonderland, the evil Queen of Hearts. Is that the villain?
Yeah, she's more stupid than scary.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of villains.
Like,
the freaking thing from Fantasia, the demon from Fantasia.
Sure. There's just a reason that if you look at all of the Disney live action movies, like Disney Princess live action movies, unfortunately for me, because I love Sleeping Beauty and I will not rest until I get a real Sleeping Beauty live action remake, there's a reason why Sleeping Beauty is the only one to get readapted into a movie about the villain and to get a sequel to a movie about a villain. There's a reason for that. Maleficent, she's an icon. She's a legend.
How do we get 2 Maleficent movies?
They're good. The first one's good.
It was fine. I fell asleep.
You don't get it like I get it. The first
It's
Maleficent
not.
movie,
It's a complete misread in my opinion.
the first Maleficent movie is good in the way that Wicked is good when it comes to the story of Wizard of Oz. It is. That's exactly what it is. They literally Wickedified Maleficent.
That is very true.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, that's true. Do you acknowledge it as canon to the animated film?
No, not in the slightest. I don't. And I won't rest until we get a real Sleeping Beauty live action because it would just be so good.
I'm kind of like at the point where I wish that they would just make a return to sequels in animated form. Like, how sick would it be if we got...
Have you watched... Did I make you watch Cinderella 3: A Wrinkle in Time?
No.
Chris, we have to watch Cinderella 3: A Wrinkle in Time.
You know what who I feel like right now? Just like yelling, I did my writing. I've done my time right now. I'm not saying I haven't enjoyed One Tree Hill, but we're almost done, and that was for you. I watched Teen Wolf for you. I watched the Step Up movies for you. I don't want to hear a damn thing about what you need to show me. It is my turn.
You watched Teen Wolf for Jenna. Let's get one thing clear.
That is true, and guess what? I enjoyed the hell out of it, and I enjoyed the hell of One Tree Hill. I'm talking about movies now.
Okay.
Step Up, that was all for you.
It was all for me, but also you made the move to do it. You chose to do it.
Yeah, I did.
And that's...
Do you know why?
I love you for that.
I love it too.
To shut me up about it, for sure.
Maybe.
But you still did it.
I watched 4 of those movies.
I watched Gladiator for you.
You did not. Bullshit.
It was your movie pick, and you put on
watched
Gladiator
because you needed to watch it prior to the trailer because of Joseph Quinn.
What movie do you want me to watch? Huh?
I have to think. I just know you're so picky, and I value...
I'm not picky. You're such a show me stuff.
I put you above me when it comes to movies sometimes.
That sounds like a personal problem.
But I grinded the Alien series on my own time, and it was fun.
Okay, good
But
for
like
you.
Things like that, I can't show you. I know you wouldn't care. You've publicly said I don't care about.
Alien is not on that
I wasn't
list.
gonna say Alien, but
okay.
A lot of popular franchises you just don't care about.
Yeah, like Apes and Transformers.
I mean, Transformers. I wouldn't want to make a dog watch. Like, I think that it's trash. But Alien, I think, is sick. You've seen all the Jurassic movies, technically. Mm-hmm. I'd have to really look at it. There are movies that I think you should watch, but they're not as lighthearted, I guess.
I watched Whiplash for you.
I know.
Boom. There's one.
But how many? We can go to my Letterboxd if you want to play this game.
Go ahead.
The Step Up movies were for you. We watched... I'm really trying to look here about... This is going to take a lot of scrolling. Let's see. I got to show you the Oceans movies, which was a win.
Yeah, see? There's one.
You showed me the Maze Runner movies. Were those technically for Jenna as well?
Those were also for Jenna. So 2 for Jenna.
I didn't mind those. They just were not my favorite.
Yeah, they're no one's favorite.
Let's see. This is taking longer than I thought it would to scroll through my Letterboxd. Ooh, we're watching all those Disney movies, but that was kind of a
You need to start making
effort.
like a list. That's what you can do tonight on your phone. You can make a list of like movies I've watched for Cam. It can be a private list. Movies I've watched for Cam. Movies Cam has watched for me.
I can go to my first time watches, which would include
a lot from me.
A lot from you. So
Go
so
ahead,
from
Cam.
2023 movies I watched for the first time in 2023, if I have that list still, that would be great. Okay. I watched The Princess Diaries 1 and 2.
You're welcome.
Pitch Perfect 2 and 3.
You are welcome.
I watched Another Cinderella Story,
You're welcome.
A Cinderella Story,
You're welcome.
The Cheetah Girls 1 and 2,
Sorry for Cheetah Girls 1, that was on you, but Cheetah Girls 2, you're welcome.
John Tucker Must Die.
You're welcome.
I then watched How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
You're welcome.
And I think that might be it pretty much.
And have all those movies not benefited your
A lot
life
of
and
them
enriched
have.
you?
Fair. Let's go to 2022 now. That's where there could be some interesting ones. There's some stinkers in there for sure. I don't even remember some of them. Okay. 2022 movies. Jump In, I finally watched.
You're welcome.
Age of Adeline, Me Before You.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Hairspray.
You're fucking welcome.
I watched Hook, which was a good one.
You're welcome.
Spiderwick Chronicles.
That one you needed to watch.
And I think that I might have forgot to add some. Oh, maybe we have to go all the way back to 2021. Dear God, we do. I've had Letterboxd for longer than I like to let on. 17 again, banger.
You're welcome.
Bewitched, Hannah Montana the movie,
Bangers.
Legally Blonde, Easy A, What a Girl Wants.
Hearing bangers
13
across
going
the
on
board.
30,
You're not helping
Enchanted,
your own
Bring It
case.
On. Now this is the worst movie they've ever shown me. Ella Enchanted.
That's a crazy take. Women on the podcast are going to yell at you in the comments.
White Chicks might be worse though.
White Chicks is a fun movie. You just don't know how to have fun.
That's the worst. I think people saying that is the same as someone saying what. Say that again. You don't know how to have fun.
You're not going to turn this into a rant.
I would have if you would have let me.
No.
I hate when people say that.
No, I was joking. It's not that serious.
I know. But anyway, my
Ella
point.
Enchanted is a good movie though, and you're wrong for that one.
Okay, no, I'm not.
Girls.
My point is, I've definitely watched more movies for you than you've watched for me in the course of our relationship.
To be fair, I feel like the category of movies that I like there's like more in that category than like movies you want to show me. If that makes sense at all. Like the rom-com girly, fun, mystical, magical, exciting side of films.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sort of.
My chair is squeaky.
Anyway, I'll have to show you some movies. That's it.
You just have to make the effort, because the reason why I show you some of the movies is because you're always like, it's my turn, and then you never have one in mind. I have a list on my phone of movies you need to watch.
Okay.
And I'm sure Cinderella 3: A Wrinkle in Time is on there because it's a good movie.
Anyway, back to the point I was trying to make that spawned this rant off tangent, if you will, whatever. I wish that Disney would just start making high-quality sequels in animated form in the same hand-drawn animation that we got in the 90s in the Renaissance
We're getting
era.
Frozen 3.
Get out of here.
Come on, Chris.
It'll make $1 billion, but I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm talking, they're making Mufasa the Lion King.
Should have been animated.
If they animated that movie, oh my God, it'd be the most anticipated thing maybe ever. Not really, but it'd be up there. And I think they feel like they can't do that because they went through this whole era of straight-to-DVD sequels like The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride, or Lion King 1.5.
Cinderella 3.
Yeah, like every big
A Wrinkle
movie
in Time.
has direct-to-DVD sequels. And so technically, they already have animated sequels. That's their out. But you could make original stories. You don't have to call it The Lion King 2. You could decanonize shit and just make a sequel.
The best like sequel thing that Disney's done is the Tangled series. Rapunzel's Ever
seen
After,
that.
I believe it's called. I have multiple times. It's great. It continues the story so well. It adds so many interesting characters, and the animation style is different. The animation style is 2D, and it's easier for them to do, and it's so great. The music is phenomenal. It's got Jeremy Jordan in it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They have certified bangers up in there.
See, I don't understand why we are getting a Moana 2, then the following year we're getting a Moana live-action remake. So we're getting Moana animated sequel, and then a live action remake of the first film the next year. That is the dumbest thing I might have seen Disney do in a long time.
It's super dumb, especially considering how expensive The Rock probably is.
It's actually, I don't get it. Someone explain that to me if you think that's a good idea.
No, I think it's stupid.
People are gonna be like, what? Why? Foolish. Also, they were gonna do this thing of making a bunch of series as sequels. Sorry to hit the mic. But like Moana was gonna be, the second movie was gonna be a series instead of a movie. And then they decided to make it a movie. I'm going to name right now, Princess and the Frog, I think, is trying to do the same thing. They need to make a second movie. They don't need to make a series.
Yeah, I agree.
They need to just make Princess and the Frog 2.
Like, if they did a second movie for Tangled 2. Office right now, like, it would go crazy. And, you know, like, just because it's a show, like, you could still...
Big Hero 6 2.
You could still do the story of the show in a movie form and animate it like the movie and put it in the box office, and you'd still make money. Because the whole reason for them making movies is because Disney is money hungry.
Correct.
So, like...
Now, to be fair, I would much rather get awesome original movies.
Yeah.
Like another Tangled,
but
another
they can't
Lion
come up
King.
with those anymore.
They're far and few in between, but I would still like some sequels. If we're, as a society, just have to embrace the world of sequels, they might as well make sequels.
Or remakes.
They might as well, or they might as well make bangers. Speaking of, Freakier Friday, thoughts?
That's love Freaky Friday. Love Freaky Friday. Speaking of movies that I need to watch.
I've probably seen the movie in its entirety just out of context.
But you haven't. I'm excited for it. I think it'll be fun. I know it won't be as good as Freaky Friday, so
Chad Michael Murray's coming back.
Crazy. I don't know why.
Why not? I mean, why the hell not, honestly? But no, D23 all in all gave us a bunch, kind of tying a bow in the Disney parks conversation. How do you feel about Disney starting to replace lands that are almost original, like Tom Sawyer Island or Rivers of America? I don't have any attachment to the two I just named, and so I'm good. But I know a lot of people are butthurt about it.
I don't care about those. I know a lot of people are butthurt about Dinosaur. Getting ripped off for Indiana Jones. And look, I get it. If they ever threatened to take Tower of Terror away from me, I would be down in Orlando, picket fencing in front of Tower of Terror. You would have to remove me from the premises, like, with, like, physical force, right? I would be literally boycotting them from destroying Tower of Terror. So if Dinosaur is your favorite ride, I get it, I guess. I didn't know Dinosaur had people to ride for it like that.
They got a lot of homies.
I think though, like, if something had to replace Dinosaur, at least something as cool as Indiana Jones.
And it's like a new ride. It's like, I believe it's going to be the same track, but it's a new story.
It's a new story. It's a new ride.
Separate from the one in Disneyland.
Yeah. And Indiana Jones is underappreciated in Florida.
Definitely is.
It has the insane and beautiful and wonderful Indiana Jones stunt show spectacular. But other than that,
people do argue it's not an animal-based ride, but whatever.
They got snakes, I'm sure.
I mean, that's a stupid argument. Like I'm saying, because you make a good point there with snakes. Cali River Rapids is about it's got a message about like deforestation, but it's just a basic raft ride. Expedition Everest, the Yeti's up there, but that's very like vague. Like Indiana Jones hates snakes. He'll probably encounter some animals along the way.
I think the addition of Indiana Jones to the park is genuinely so that they could have like a human face in the park. And if you have to pick a human face among like Disney's properties, Indiana Jones fits that bill the best, I think, just because he is always out and in nature and dirty and going into things. And in a way, like, animals in history can kind of go hand in hand. So, like, you're replacing Dinosaur, but you're replacing it with someone who's an archaeologist.
Yeah.
So, like...
I dig it.
So they can still keep, like, dinosaur things, like, and fossils around if they wanted to.
I dig it, honestly. I do. But yeah, that's kind of it for the D23 combo.
I do have one more point about Animal Kingdom. There's a reason that Animal Kingdom is the least busy park and the least visited park. Love Animal Kingdom down. But...
Honestly, don't.
So much.
It's cool, though.
There's only so much you can do with animals to a certain point. You know what I mean? Like, at a certain point, like, you're going to run out of XP or whatever. What are they going to do? Put the Aristocats in Animal Kingdom? Like, they can't, if they want to keep the vibe of, like, the jungle and whatnot. They could do Tarzan, but that's, you know.
I have
you're going to have a shirtless man in a brown skirt that's basically underwear walking around meeting children? No.
I have a hot take about Animal Kingdom.
Go ahead.
I think people who say it's their favorite park are lying to themselves.
I agree. And I think
I'm serious.
I like the vibe of it, but like it needs something more to make it a more worthy park to visit. At least to be it's not a full day of park. It is not a full day of park unless you do every single thing there.
Unless you're an Avatar fan.
I forgot that Avatar was there.
Yeah, people overrate that land. Remember,
I don't
we're not
care
Avatar
about Avatar.
people.
Literally forgot that land existed.
Yeah. So we don't care about that. A lot of people do somehow.
Sorry.
Anyway, I am curious about the future. I think in the next 10 years we'll visit Universal more than we visit Disney.
Probably.
Especially with Epic Universe opening.
Ooh, definitely for sure.
I would say in 10 years' time, yeah, we'll have visited Universal more.
I agree.
But that does it for the theme park conversation. Harkening back to like the movies of D23 and everything, is there anything we missed?
We didn't really talk about Snow White.
Yeah, you want to talk about that real quick?
Got a couple points I want to hit.
We briefly got into it, but we didn't talk about the teaser itself.
Couple things. Well, we can talk about the teaser, and then I'll talk about what people are saying about the teaser. In the teaser, so we get to see. Okay, let me lay out this movie for you, which I feel like a lot of people don't comprehend. Starring Rachel Zegler, amazing actress, phenomenal singer. Directed by Mark Webb, director of the two TASM films, which regardless...
And 500 Days of Summer.
Regardless of how you feel about those movies, like, for me personally, the TASM films are, like, just, like, nostalgia. They give me such a warm feeling. Like, I think Mark Webb is great. Written by Greta Gerwig, and I think her husband, but most notably Greta Gerwig. So you're going to tell me that there's going to be a script that Greta Gerwig had a hand in and it's going to suck? Doubtful. And recently I learned choreography done by Mandy Moore, who you probably don't know, and if anybody is a dancer knows, or if anybody's a Taylor Swift fan knows, Mandy Moore does.
Dancing with the Stars Taylor Swift night. I know who she is.
Yes, she does Taylor Swift choreography. She is a very famous, well-renowned, incredible choreographer. Gagged when I learned that she was the choreographer of this movie. Literally gagged, fell out of my seat. Like, I love her. She's great. She's one of the best choreographers like they could have possibly gotten. That's so exciting. So, cast is stacked to the fucking moon, right? Cast and crew stacked to the moon. I think the trailer looks great. I think it looks so fun. It's colorful. It's magical. It looks fantastical, as in, like, it looks like fantasy, which is what I want it to look like. You know what I mean? People complained that The Little Mermaid was too dark, like, in terms of colors. They're like, it's too dark. And then what? They use light and color in Snow White, and all of a sudden, oh, it looks cheap. It looks like it's AI, which is crazy. I've seen people say it looks like AI, which makes me believe you guys don't know what AI is, or you don't know the difference between CGI and AI. Two very different things.
Mm-hmm.
2, CGI is not your enemy. Just because something doesn't look real to your eyes, like, doesn't mean it looks bad. I'm a firm believer that, like, if you're looking at something and in a movie and you're like, I know that this is not real, and so I know they use CGI for it, your eyes have a hard time, like, telling your mind that what you're seeing isn't real, but it's okay to believe it's real in this, like, setting. People are complaining about the dwarves. It's a whole topic in and of itself. People have complained about the color of Snow White's skirt, saying it's way too yellow. Heaven forbid they use color. People have complained about her hair. People have complained that she doesn't have her red headband in a lot of the shots, which, if you watch the trailer, she does have her red headband in a shot. And if you know anything about Snow White, this is another thing. Everybody complaining about Snow White, I want to see your Disney log history. I want to see the last time you pulled up Snow White from 1930 and watched that film. I want to know.
I just want to say that I think people, I said this a while ago on this podcast, I think people act like they care about Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs when no one really does.
They literally don't. I know it's one person on earth that cares about Snow White, and it's my mom.
And she probably hasn't watched the movie in 20 plus years.
It's her favorite Disney princess.
So, but I mean, no one, we live in a world where they're going to do these live action remakes and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They're going to do them for every single one of these movies. And so with Snow White, would you rather get a beat for beat remake of a movie that's a snoozer essentially, or something in the world that's like fresh and new and maybe exciting? And with Rachel Zegler, like, I don't care if like we have to accept it Those are the live action remakes we're getting. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but they're going to remake them all. So we kind of just have to embrace newness with them, in my opinion.
I know nobody cares about the original Snow White because literally you'd be shocked at how many comments I've gotten on my videos of being like, "Where's her red headband? I'm actually so mad they don't have her red headband in her look." She loses her red headband in the scary little woods.
I'm kind of 90% sure. I'll let you finish. I have a rant.
No, that was pretty much it.
I'm kind of fucking over the whole costume conversation in movies today. And it's more so applicable to comic book stuff than anything. The Thunderbolts trailer leaked, and I saw people being like, they massacred Taskmaster. What are they doing? It's like, oh my God. People, and it's for people did it for Johnny Storm. People do it for everything. They did it for, sorry for the sirens. They did it for the Batman when Pattinson's Batman costume leaked. It's like, see the movie before you judge a costume. And also, when did everyone become costume designers? And,
this is something that
it's just weird to me. It's a costume. I've never, ever cared that much about a costume for a superhero. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
People at this point in time, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's COVID, whatever it is. People at this point in time have forgotten the fact that just because they don't personally like it does not make it bad. You can personally dislike the current Fantastic Four suit. If you don't like the white that's on it, that's you. That's your personal opinion. That does not mean that costume is bad. People will be like, this looks like ass. This is a horrible costume. It looks awful, bad. No, you don't like it. And it's totally okay that you don't like it, but you have to remember, just because you don't like it does not make it bad. You don't like the color of Snow White's skirt? That's fine. That does not mean it's bad.
I just think it's so weird how people have hyper fixated on costumes in superhero movies specifically, and also like live action remakes and things. It doesn't look exactly like it did in this 1930s movie. It doesn't look exactly like it did in this one comic book. But why does that matter? I don't understand. I just don't get it. Yeah. I just don't understand it, and it actually annoys me when people are out here losing sleep over what Captain America's suit's going to look like in the new movie. Like,
looks fine.
That's not the reason I go to watch a movie.
Yeah.
I didn't go walk out of Iron Man, the first Iron Man, and be like, man, I loved it, but his suit wasn't technically fully comic accurate, so I'm docking it a point on my review. That's very crazy. Obnoxious, weird, and it's people use that costume design. They use that argument to shield what the actual issue with the movies, I think. Like, because honestly, they'll be like, oh, they might not like Iron Man for some stupid reason, but they don't know how to say they don't like Iron Man. They can't say, oh, I didn't like the review with Obadiah, or I didn't like this.
That's literally exactly
and so they're just like, oh, the costume sucks.
That's exactly what people are doing with Snow White. Like, they're complaining about the fact that the dress has sleeves, because in the cartoon it's short sleeved, right?
Yeah. They're
complaining that the color of her skirt is too yellow when it's a little bit more pale in the cartoon. They're complaining that she doesn't have a red headband.
It's weird. It's just weird to hyperfixate on things like that.
So fucking weird.
Very strange to me.
I love costumes, and I think this is probably because I'm like a girl and a little bit more creative. So like whenever I watch a movie or something that has insane costuming, like I notice it when I'm watching a movie. I'm like, wow, look at that costume. Wow, look at those. But like it's always from a point of admiration. I can't remember the last time I looked at a costume in a movie or a TV show, most notably a movie, and been like, that's ugly. That's bad. It's more often than not from a point of admiration, being like, wow, look at that practical costume. Wow, look at that practical dress that someone took time to make and design and sew and XYZ. Like
I'll never forget how nauseating the conversation about Wolverine's suit was when the Deadpool and Wolverine.
Because he didn't have little caps on his sleeve.
And he didn't have his cowl. Asshole, go watch the movie.
I saw somebody edit Wolverine's costume to have little caps on it, and the tweet was like, oh man, we could have had this and it would have been so much better. It took me scrolling through the replies for a minute to figure out what was different in the photo than what we got in the movie. No different. I literally did not notice that they put little caps on it.
To let the slight difference in a superhero costume take away your enjoyment of the movie, that is such an irrelevant ass detail.
Crazy behavior.
That's an irrelevant ass detail that I will never fathom getting that torn up over.
Unless we're fighting about the color of Marty McFly's vest.
Fair. I guess.
I just thought of that because I was looking at your shirt.
Oh, true. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird that society is at a point where they're just over analyzing the costumes of superhero films and whatever. It's bizarre to me. That's all I have to say about that.
Off topic of costumes, on topic of like live action remakes, I was talking about this to Jenna. I'm getting a lot of comments and seeing a lot of people being like, oh my God, who is asking for these live action remakes? Nobody is asking for these. Stop making them.
Well,
I'm asking for them. Hate to be the one to tell you guys. Who's asking for them? Me.
Honestly, well, kind of going back to the point I made earlier, no one's really asking for them to, and like, I don't think people are asking for them, but like I said, we're getting them no matter if you want it or not. We're getting it because Disney is going to remake every single movie. That's my point. It's so like I don't think anyone is out here like truly. I mean, if you do, cool. I don't think anyone wants a Moana remake, like a Tangled live action remake. Get out of here.
Not like the current one, like Moana. That's a little too recent. Frozen a little too recent. I'm seated for the Tangled live action.
Okay.
I'm seated for Snow White. I love Cinderella. I love Beauty and the Beast. Didn't watch Aladdin. Sorry, that one didn't interest me. Obviously didn't watch Mulan. I don't count that one because there's no music, so it doesn't really count.
I haven't seen Aladdin, but I've actually heard it's one of the better ones.
I've heard it's good, and I might watch it before Snow White. But like I loved Little Mermaid. Gagged by Little Mermaid. Like, oh, Little Mermaid was so good.
I think to this day the best one to me is Beauty and the Beast. I think I might have said Little Mermaid immediately, but Beauty and the Beast because it's a tale as old as time.
You haven't seen Cinderella 2015.
And that's not better than Beauty and the Beast, sight unseen.
Richard Madden as a prince.
I mean, Beauty and the Beast, Evermore.
Josh Groban did it better, though.
He would have never done it without that movie, though.
That is true. That is true.
I know a lot of people don't like Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, they're the weird people that are obsessed over the autotune.
I'm so obsessed with your ex.
Which, again, is another thing. Like, just people getting hell-bent over things that really are minuscule in the grand scheme
Correct.
of things when it comes
Thank
to
you.
movie. And it's just like, can you just, not to repeat an earlier point, but can you just have fun? Like, there's some things where it's like, yeah, you can be like, oh, yeah, her autotune was, like, kind of annoying in the movie. And, yeah, I didn't like the music. Her autotune was annoying. That's it. You don't have to be like, this movie is ass because Emma Watson can't sing.
Yeah, like, I just
the
saw
movie itself is great. Luke Evans, I play the Mob song all the time in the car.
Yeah.
I love that song. The costuming, the filmmaking of Beauty and the Beast is phenomenal. And you're going to let all that be ruined just because you think Emma Watson can't sing? Outside of the singing, like, Emma Watson is a beautiful and perfect belle.
Yeah.
Like, she crushed it.
We don't have long. We have like 5 minutes. But I will say real quick, I think it's been lost in society where you can watch a movie and like it for the most part, but you still have issues with it. And you can convey that and give a movie like an 8 out of 10 and be like, I really liked it. Excuse me, but I didn't love certain things. Like I saw Alien Romulus, and I was in for most of the movie. Some things, some decisions it makes near the end, I'm like, didn't care for that. It's a little stupid. But like, it's just annoying. In on Twitter especially, people will be like, oh, movie is made because this one shot was ass. And it's like Deadpool and Wolverine will be like, Wolverine looks like shit after they jump out of the back of the bus for 10 seconds. This movie's ass. It's like, that's 10 seconds of a 2-hour, 7-minute long movie. That's an invalid criticism because, yeah, it's obviously not the greatest CGI, but like that, like take that energy and apply it to the character, story, plot, direction, etc. Something of value. It's that people get hell bent on the, like you said, most minuscule details, and it drives me crazy. And that's all I have to say. And people will let that one thing.
They're miserable.
They'll like boost it like it's a curve on a test. They'll boost that and make that hold so much weight, so much weight for how they feel about a movie they enjoyed for 90% of the runtime.
Yeah,
but
that's
the
really good.
2 shots were ass and the costume sucked, so the movie stinks. What?
Just like calm down. Calm down.
It doesn't make sense. And people who shouldn't have a voice have gotten their thumbs going on Twitter and spew
TikTok.
atrocities and filth and brain dead takes, and it's ruining movie culture where we can talk
that
about
combined
things.
with the fact that people genuinely think that they could get into those rooms and like do things better. Like you think you could get in there and design a costume better than an official costume designer. People wholeheartedly think that they could rewrite the scripts for Percy Jackson season 1 and do better.
The funniest thing to me is when the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer dropped and someone was like, fixed it. like the color grading. They're like fixed it,
Oh my
and
God,
it
I
looked like
remember
someone put like
that.
one of those Instagram filters that
I
was
was
almost
you
like
just
a
made it orange.
yeah,
Like,
it
what am I
was
looking
so
at?
shitty.
I was like, first of all, color grading is an insanely like.
It's very difficult.
It's very intricate
and it's funny how
and
people think they can just do
process.
it. Yeah.
I'm like, you turned the temperature up to like 15, and you changed like the hue of orange to like a little bit more
They
yellow.
went in on the warm colors with it.
Yeah, you didn't color grade anything. No. I doubt you even own the software to color grade.
Yeah. And
you
people
don't own any of that.
Anytime a trailer drops, people are like, fixed it, and they like try and Photoshop a costume. And
Literally,
it looks like shit.
You are so dumb. You are
No,
not qualified.
Very.
You're not qualified to be a costume designer. You're not qualified to be a screenplay writer. You're not qualified to be a director. You're not qualified for any of these things. And there's a reason for that. Just because you have access to the internet does not make you qualified for these things. Hope that helps.
People are delusional.
I saw a TikTok one that literally pissed me off for like the entire day of a guy who literally like was so serious about like rewatching Percy Jackson. And he like rewrote the script for each episode. And he's like, 18 pages of notes. Who wants the link to the Google Doc? And
what?
I'm not kidding. Thousands of comments of people like, oh, thank God. Oh, we need to get you in that room. Oh, you need to be in that room immediately. Oh my God. Coming from somebody who has written a screenplay for fun and shits and gigs, it is not easy. If I handed anybody my screenplay of Bridgerton season 4, they would laugh in my face after reading it because it is not real. You're not qualified. Anybody who's listening to this, you're not qualified to do anything that you think you can do when it comes to changing things in movies or TV shows. And I hate to be the one to tell you that. We're not qualified for any of that. We're just here to talk and have fun. Like, there's a reason that you're not doing it.
Yeah.
You're not You're 14. You're not qualified for this.
Fair.
Sorry, not to be mean. If you're 14, love you.
There are people out there who are gifted, but it's like, you know.
You will be qualified eventually.
It's just crazy how people on Twitter, more so is what I'm talking about, are like out here like I'm going to fix the DCEU. It's like, brother, that thing's a train wreck. You ain't doing shit.
The people that are qualified are not the people that are trying to say that they could do it better on Twitter. You know what I mean? Like, if you have the ability to color grade and you want to get into the movie industry and you are qualified or you're going to be qualified in the next couple of years, like, you're not on Twitter being like, I can do this better.
Yeah. But that might just do it for this episode of the podcast.
Go ahead and take us out.
Thank you guys for watching. Lots of Disney 23, if you will, talk. D23, theme parks, movies, the current state of criticism in movies and media on Twitter. We talked about all that, so it was fun. Hit the like button if you're watching the video version. Leave us a nice rating on Spotify or
Every
Apple Podcasts.
like is a vote for them to redo the remake for live action Sleeping Beauty.
There you go. So yeah, comment your thoughts on everything we talked about down below. Stay tuned for another episode coming very soon. Until next time, stay unusual.